All right, so we just got word that we are gonna be heading up to the hills or the mountains surrounding Culiacan to meet with some private security for one of these, you know, familias, one of these groups. You know, it's nighttime. I guess there's been military in the area all day. We've been waiting for like 7 hours to try to go up and get this shot with them, but they have to wait for the army to clear out. So who knows what we're about to see.
We drive for about a half an hour outside of the city. This is about midnight.
How dangerous is this, what we're about to go do?
Well, I guess not like the dangerous part. It's actually like the trek, you know, like or way there can be actually pretty dangerous. Because if someone knows what we're gonna do, like who are we gonna be with, like that definitely gonna start a fire, you know, like someone's following us. Of course, they have several enemies around the city. Because they work for a very specific faction, you know. But I mean, as soon as we get there, we're safe, you know. Like and getting out again, it's again a bit tricky. So I guess yeah, like when we're rolling, that's the part where we want to be careful, you know.
So we're about to be, so it's about to get dangerous as soon as the cameras turn off.
Yes, exactly. Yes, yeah.
Pitch black. We don't know where the fuck we're going.
All right, so. They're not even letting us say who we're going to visit, but the truth is we're going to see soldiers for El Mayo Zambada. So yeah, we'll see if we can get a fucking interview or not, you know what I mean? Like, money moves everything here, so I got about $1,000 in cash, American dollars, and we'll see if that will move the needle at all.
Finally, we pull into this little village, I'll call it, because it's not the suburbs, it's way out in the boonies. We pull up to this house, and there's about 8 or 9 guys, young guys, standing around smoking weed. They've got guns on their hips and walkie-talkies. This is El Mayo's personal security team. And we were told because these guys were the first layer of security around El Mayo that it was very likely that he was in the area, like maybe a half a mile away from where we were at. And it was a surreal evening. These are young guys. I'm talking 23, 24 years old. They had braces, acne, potheads, smoking weed the whole time, sniffing coke. It was a birthday party, actually, for one of the bodyguards, one of the sicarios. And the door to the house that they were stationed at opens up, and a man walks out carrying a birthday cake for this guy. And next to him is his little daughter, couldn't be more than 4 years old, and she starts singing like some Mexican tune, and I assumed it was like a rendition of Feliz Cumpleaños. I thought it was a birthday song, right? But later on, I found out this little girl was singing a narco corrido song dedicated to El Mayo. How creepy is that? Then we proceeded to party. They brought out a couple of cases of beer, rolling joints, sniffing coke, which is, we found out like how these guys party. There were no chicks anywhere. This was very much a Sinaloan birthday party. And we talked. We talked and talked and talked. These were young guys. A lot of them were real nice, dude. Funny dudes, had Instagram accounts. I showed them some of my stand-up comedy. They seemed to take to it. The only time it felt like we were in a cartel drug business was as we're partying and bullshitting and laughing.
It's cool, man. They got fucking Fruit Loops and shit. Nobody wants to eat this. Nadie quiere comer eso. Nadie tiene los cojones.
One of the guys gets a call on his radio that a kitchen has been hit. We heard that over and over. A kitchen has been hit. Se le falló la cocina. And basically either a meth or a fentanyl cook that was happening in one of these little villages around Culiacan was raided by the military. But these guys didn't bat an eye at it. They didn't give a shit. The guy turned his radio off. That's how little they were concerned about law enforcement. And we asked them what happens during one of these raids. They told us that the military will actually light the entire thing on fire. They will blow up the lab. And the reason that they gave these kids this job of guarding El Mayo and not, you know, some ex-military guys is because the odds of Mayo getting raided by the Marines or by the Federales, because of all that other security that they have, because everybody in Culiacan is paid off, the odds of him getting raided are so slim that they don't really need like their top Navy SEAL-like dudes guarding the guy because they already have that taken care of in the outer layers of his security team. If there is a raid if the military somehow does make it past the first couple of layers of Mayo's security team, everybody already has that old man on the move, and they are heading to a ranch somewhere else in Sinaloa. Oh, this right here. This is a rosario, a rosary, given to me by the kid whose birthday it was. The sicario working for El Mayo. It was his birthday party, and he gave me this hand-beaded rosary. I was speechless. I was like, I can't accept. And he was like, you must, please. You can never take it off, he told me. And I am being true to my word. I'm never taking this thing off. This is a rosario from a sicario, not only in the Sinaloa cartel, but who is guarding the #1 drug trafficker on earth. I'll never forget that. So it was such an amazing dichotomy. On the one hand, you know, these guys don't think twice to kill or to protect drugs like fentanyl that are wreaking havoc on America. But on the other hand, as individuals, they're really nice dudes, right? They're just like anybody else. They're normal guys that want to have a good life. They're like your pothead friends that are fucking hilarious, right? And then they start to talk a little more, and they tell us a story about how they caught one of these federal police trying to raid a house where they were guarding El Mayo, and they fucking shoved a broomstick up his ass and tossed him into a river. So that kind of makes you pause a little bit because, you know, Mexicans are some of the sweetest people on earth, right? It's a very friendly, polite, giving culture. You know, one of these guys gave me their fucking rosary, and the kid's got a 9mm on his hip, and he's probably killed other kids his age or younger. So it was a surreal evening. Unfortunately, we were not able to get these guys to let us film them. We had gone way too high up in the security level of El Mayo Zambada, and there was just no way that his primary security detail was going to allow themselves to be filmed for a channel like this. The only thing they did let us film was me on camera with a bunch of their pot, rolling joints, speaking broken Spanish, while they all made fun of me behind the camera.
So we got some Culiacan outdoor bud, fire. So imagine that. I started years ago buying this shit, 50, 100 pounds at a time from, you know, my Sinaloan growers in Northern California. And now I'm here in Sinaloa smoking weed with the growers, you know what I mean? So I got a little army right behind the camera. I got a little ejercito over here, you know what I mean? And fucking good dudes, man. These motherfuckers are potheads, by the way. They like you here if you have money. I've noticed that. I feel like a sugar daddy. I'm just taking out my wallet. I feel like, you know, I should have a young hot wife the way I'm just paying for everything. You know what I mean? No, but it's all good, dude. I love it. I'm fucking stoked. Yeah, exactly. Ese güey siempre, papi, ¿tienes billetes? Sí, 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 sí.
Si tuvieras la oportunidad de volverte a meter al negocio, güey, ya estuviste dos años en la cárcel. ¿Lo volverías a hacer o no?
Would I go back to it?
Yes.
¿Como vender?
Sí, comprar y vender, ajá.
Solo, fuera que, si fuera grande. O sea, como kilos de perico, you know what I mean? No voy a regresar a la cárcel por mota.
It's likely that El Mayo will never be caught. He's made it this far. I don't know what kind of deal he has with the CIA or with the American and Mexican governments, but that guy's never going down. And he's already positioned himself to pass the business along to his last 2 remaining sons, the ones who haven't been arrested, the ones who are still in Mexico, to take over after he passes. Okay, so you have some background on the cartels, but how does the organization work as a business entity? How are they organized? How do they move drugs from South America, Culiacan, to the United States? How does it work logistically? It's nothing like what you think. Hey guys, if you like that clip, make sure to check out the full episode right here and subscribe to the channel right here.